Hi, I'm Chris from Geosoft, and in this video you'll see how to add or modify data to your model and run an unconstrained inversion. This video continues from the steps covered in the previous Setting Up to Run an Inversion video available on the Geosoft website.
In the previous video, we set up our inversion and made all the necessary adjustments to the parameters. Now we're ready to add more information to our model. We'll add the database containing the residual survey data and define some additional measurements and background removal options. If you remember, this option was also available to you in the prompt that appeared when you created the Voxy session. Right-click the data in the tree viewer and select Add Data. The Add Data wizard is displayed, with the first dialog pertaining to the database information. Point to the database file containing the measurements and 3D locations covering the model area. The X and Y coordinates will be automatically defined. However, you have to supply the elevation channel name, which should be in the same vertical coordinates as the DEM grid. For the DEM we are using, we will select GPS Z final. We recommend decimating the observed data to 1 sample per cell, since not doing so increases the computation time with no corresponding gain in the resolution of the output model. Once you're done entering the database parameters, click Next. The Next dialog in the wizard is displayed. Here we can specify the type of potential field data we are modeling and select the channel that contains the residual magnetic or Bugge gravity data. In our example, magnetic data is used to invert a susceptibility model. When we select susceptibility, the type of data automatically defaults to magnetic. Select the channel that contains the field data. For our model, we will select Mag Final. By default, the error level is calculated to be the equivalent of 5% of the standard deviation of the data. You can, however, modify the error level to better suit your dataset. For a susceptibility model, you can further specify or modify the IGRF field parameters. If your database contains survey data, the parameters are calculated automatically, as is the case with our example. When you're done, click Next. The last dialog of the wizard is displayed. This dialog enables us to remove the background value from the measurements prior to inversion. The measured data statistics and the best fit linear plane of the observed data are also shown. By default, Voxy will calculate the reasonable starting value and assign it to all voxel model elements. As such, this step is optional. You can, however, modify the background value or the linear trend plane to be removed by selecting the appropriate removal method. The measured data statistics are dynamically updated to reflect the statistics of the observed data after the removal of the suggested linear trend background. The average of the data is around 0, which is where we would expect it to be. Since we removed the background in the data preparation stage and are confident in the method applied, we will refrain from removing it again in Voxy and select No Background Removal. Click Finish to display the selected sensor data in the 3D viewer. You can toggle the data locations item under Data in the tree viewer to highlight the location of the average readings that will be subject to inversion. We also have the option of modifying the data we added in the previous steps prior to running the inversion. Right-click Database or any of the items under it in the tree viewer and select Modify. Since we don't need to add or modify any data here, we can click Cancel. We are now ready to run an unconstrained inversion. From the Voxy Viewer menu, click Inversions and select Run Inversion, or click the Run Inversion shortcut from the Voxy shortcut toolbar. The Run Inversion dialog is displayed, prompting you to run the inversion and notifying you of the tokens required for the inversion and your current token balance. Click Yes to proceed with the inversion. If at any point you want to make further edits to your input data prior to the inversion modeling, you can stop the process by clicking the Stop Process icon in the Voxy shortcut toolbar. The inversion will terminate immediately and no tokens will have been used. For our example, we will let the inversion continue. Once you start the inversion item is added to the tree viewer and the progress of the inversion is displayed below the 3D model view. Once the inversion data has been uploaded to the server, you can even close the Voxy viewer. You can return to this session by clicking Voxy Inversion from the Oasis Montage menu and selecting Open Voxy. While the inversion is running, you can expand the inversion items in the tree viewer and explore the current inversion details further. While the inversion is in progress, the only active item is input data. This is a capture of the input information provided for this particular inversion process event. Once this inversion is complete, you have the option of copying the input data for this inversion so that you can run subsequent inversions based on the data and modify the parameters as you see fit. To copy the input data, right-click the database, mesh, or DEM and select Copy to Input. You can also record comments in the Voxy journal where you can highlight differences between your various inversions. You can access the journal by clicking the icon on the Voxy shortcut toolbar. Once the inversion is complete, you can explore the items under the particular inversion process event under Inversions in the Tree Viewer. Explore the parameter summary to get a full detailed list of the parameters used for this inversion. See the process log for details of the inversion you just ran. View the predicted response to see the input data alongside the calculated response of the solution voxel model saved at the user-defined sampling rate. You can also view the attributes and color table of the output voxel model, similar to using the Oasis Montage 3D viewer. The Clipping tab enables you to clip the model to show only a specific set of values. This concludes our How to Run an Inversion with No Constraints video. Thank you for watching. More information on using Voxy is available through the resources on the Geosoft website, including a knowledge base containing frequently asked questions, additional videos, and how-to guides.